Have you ever been trading and you felt like your heart was beating out of your chest? You felt like your palms are really sweaty, your face got very, very flush? If you've ever felt that way before, that is just a sign to you that you have crossed the emotional threshold and you went from logical, unemotional thinking to very, very emotional. And I have to tell you, I have yet to meet a trader who has ever been successful trading with a lot of emotion. And in fact, this is one of the biggest profit killers for the average person out there is they maybe actually have a good strategy, right? I believe everyone needs to have at least one strategy that has a built-in mathematical edge. And maybe traders out there in the world even have something like that, but they're not able to follow the plan to actually go ahead and take advantage and leverage the fact that they have some sort of a strategy that has a built-in mathematical edge. Now, if their heart is beating out of their chest, if their face is flush, if their palms are sweaty, if their whole body is sweaty, that is just a sign that they have become far too emotional. And again, I've never met a single trader who has been unsuccessful, I've never met a single trader who has made money, period, trading with too much emotion. Now, here's the cool thing. Getting rid of emotion in trading is the single easiest thing that anyone can do in trading. The problem is, it will crush the majority of you who are watching this video's ego. Right? So if you are someone who feels the symptoms or the signs of being overly emotional when you're trading, the fix is so easy. It's easier than walking. It's easier than tying your shoes. But unfortunately, the majority of you will not do it because it will require your ego to get thrown out the door. And it's this. If you feel your palms are sweaty while you're trading, if your eyes are 2 inches in front of the monitor, if you can't even look away when you're in a trade, if you're a sweaty mess when you're trading, if your heart is beating out of your chest, that's just a sign that you're too emotional. And the only way to fix it, and by the way, the fix that I'm about to give you, I've yet to meet a single trader who actually did this and did not solve the problem of too much emotion. So to solve the problem of too much emotion, reduce your trade size by 50%. Reduce your trade size by 50%. Now, a lot of you are going to hear that and say, wait a second, Stephen, wait a second. If I reduce my trade size by 50%, I'm going to make less money. If you're trading emotionally, you don't even make money in the first place. By reducing your emotion, you're able to think logically. You're able to think without emotion. You're able to follow the rules of your system. And again, consistent decisions, like following rules, lead to consistent actions that lead to consistent results. When you are too emotional, you don't even make consistent decisions. So because of that, you are disqualified from making consistent actions, and you are definitely disqualified from making consistent profits. So let's start with step one, consistent decisions. How do I make consistent decisions as a trader? Well, of course, again, it's very important that you have a strategy that has a built-in mathematical edge. And on top of that, it's very, very important that the strategy that you have that has a built-in mathematical edge, that there are very clear and precise rules around it. Now, again, if you're too emotional, you won't be able to follow the rules, meaning you won't make consistent decisions, you will not take consistent actions, and you will definitely not get consistent outcomes, which is profits in trading. But if you reduce your emotion, in this case, just literally cut your trade size by 50%, you have a much better chance of generating consistent decisions. And because you've generated consistent decisions, you can typically generate consistent actions, which lead to what you want, which is consistent results. Now, some of you out there may cut your trade size by 50% and this still not work. Great. Cut it in half again and literally keep on doing it until 10 times out of 10, you can make consistent decisions with your trading. Because if you can make consistent decisions with your trading, you will be able to take consistent actions that lead to consistent results. So again, if you're a trader that has too much emotion, you need to reduce your trade size so much to the point where you are making consistent decisions. Thus, you can take consistent actions, thus leading to consistent results. And again, the majority of you, or some of you, may not follow because your ego would be bruised too much. But there is a saying that I have in trading, and it is the less money that you risk, the more money you will make. Now, of course, most people don't agree with that at all. Again, most traders don't make money, but the less money you risk, the more money you will make. Why is that? Because the less money you risk, the less emotion you have. And the less emotion you have, the more consistent your decisions can be. And the more consistent your decisions can be, the more consistent your actions will be. And the more consistent your actions will be, what do you get? Consistent results. So again, if you're somebody who feels like they're emotional, if you feel like your palms are sweaty when you're trading, if you feel like your heart is beating out of your chest, if you feel like your face is flush, if you feel like your eyeballs are 2 inches away from the screen and you can't even look the other way while you're in a position, great, awesome. Reduce your trade size in half and keep on cutting it in half until you no longer have those symptoms. Once those symptoms are gone, what do we get? Consistent decisions that lead to consistent actions that generate consistent results.